I've been looking at this photograph from, it's August 1972. I think it says August 13th, which will be right before my 19th birthday. So I'm still 18. You know, look at my face, that sort of studied scowl, and the cigarettes, and the deep drag, and the guitar, and the couple is Georgie and Annette, and they just appeared on our doorstep one day. Annette was a refugee from Westchester County, where her parents had laid down an ultimatum because of a African-American boyfriend, and she'd run away from home. Oh, terrible mistakes parents made in those days. And you know, it didn't occur to me to call her folks or anything like that. I was a kid too. Georgie and Annette had been ripped off. They had a Volkswagen Bug, and the mechanic had told them their radiator was no good and offered them like $50 for the car, but of course Volkswagen Bugs have no radiators, so they had no car, they had no money, they had nothing. They were squatting in this old pump house, a beautiful stone building with wet floors and mold and vermin crawling every place. It was out on the railroad tracks on the way to the Cargill salt mines. They'd come to our house for showers and meals, and I did my best to take care of them, and over the course of the summer kind of fell in love with Annette and got more and more disturbed by the boyfriend. More and more jealous of him was the thing. And she'd confide all sorts of stuff to me. He was rough on her, and he was a terrible kisser, and you know, it was like I was her girlfriend, which is the last thing I wanted to be. That summer, 1972, was not a happy summer for me. Linda had dumped me, and I was, you know, desperately trying to find women to hang out with, and wasn't that good at it. You know, the first thing I'd tell somebody I met was how much I miss Linda, you know, which doesn't really work. But, you know, Boogie with Klondike. We had a gig at the North 40, which is one of these big smash-up fraternity party bars. And they had a ladies' night where basically the women drank for free, which meant they got smashed and men could impress themselves upon them, was the theory. So we played there for nothing. It was kind of an audition night, they called it, which meant the owner got away with not paying the bands. Anyway, I met this cute girl, and we danced a little bit, and I asked her out. I said, well, I asked for her number anyway, and she said, no, my sister wouldn't allow it. I said, your sister? Anyway, we got to talking, and in the course of the talk, I learned that she lived in a pink house, and further that the pink house was on Sapsucker Woods Road in Ithaca. Well, weeks later, I got to thinking about it. I was so lonely, and I just got my courage up and walked up to Sapsucker Woods Road behind Cornell up there, and found the pink house, and lurked out there for 20 minutes, finally went up the driveway, knocked on the door, and out comes an even more beautiful young woman, and she says, yes. And I said, I'm looking for... And she goes, oh, that's my sister. I said, I know, I just wanted to say hi, you know. And she says, well, who are you? So I told her a little, and then her sister comes down behind her, and she goes, I want to talk to this man by myself. So her sister disappears, and she asks me a few questions, the sister, and says, I'm sorry, you can't go out with my sister. I flunked the test, whatever it was. So much for the big idea that being in a band would help you find girls. Anyway, Farmington Fair is in town. Comes every fall. It's kind of tacky and wacky. There's a demolition derby and tractor pulls and oxen pulls and pigs with their piglets. It's really a great agricultural fair along with the fun and games. Juliet's water broke at the fair one year, and the next night Alicia was born. She's been going back ever since.
Don Green was a great band leader. He was the first guy to ever really push me to learn all my parts perfectly and to learn my harmonies for the songs and to practice. George Healy was the bass player. I called him Aunt George because he used to wash the guitar cords after every gig to get the beer off of them. Doug Kelly was a drummer. His father was a farmer and let us use the farm truck to drive our equipment around in. We also practiced in their basement. Here's a booth named after me. Look at this painting. And old friends.
What was that?
Oh, no. Gotcha.
We did a lot of Jay Giles band songs, and Don Green sang them really well. He played the harmonica really well, too, and did a great job as a front man.
You know, we did like, I'm looking for a love, dun 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 dun. I'm looking for a love, dun 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 dun. Looking here and there, searching everywhere, looking for a love to call my own, da 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 da, da 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 da, and so forth. He sang it much better than I do.
Recently, I was at 4th Street, a restaurant in Portland, Maine, and the bartender said to me, "Hey, that's the lead singer from the Jay Giles band over there." So I bravely went over to talk to him and I said, "You know, I used to play Jay Giles band songs in a band." And he says, "Oh, another guy who used to play Jay Giles songs in a band."
Another girl I met was Big Pam. Big Pam. Big Pam. You know what I'm saying? You know, you just get desperate, and Big Pam was famous for, frankly, giving blowjobs to anybody. So one day I'm at the Salty Dog, and I see Big Pam there. It's like after last call. She's by herself, an unusual situation. So I go over, and she's like, "It's Billy from the band." I was like, "Hi, Pam." I almost called her Big Pam by accident. That would have been a faux pas. She says, "And what do you want?" And I said, "I don't know. I thought maybe we could, like, take a walk or something." And she goes, "Kid, I'm not taking a walk with you." I don't know what she meant, but I couldn't even get with Big Pam. Life was tough, I'm telling you. Life was tough.